Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow old with such grace, still walking with a spring in their step, still smiling with energy that feels almost timeless? If you look closely at Japan, especially in places like Okinawa, you'll notice something remarkable. Many of the elders there are not only living into their 80s, 90s, and even past 100, but they're also living well. They don't just add years to their life, they add life to their years. Now, here's the fascinating part. Researchers have spent decades studying their secrets. And while things like staying active, keeping community ties, and having a positive mindset all play a role, one factor keeps showing up again and again: their food. What they eat week after week, often in small, simple portions, has a powerful effect on keeping their blood vessels clean, their hearts strong, and their minds sharp. And the best part? These are not exotic superfoods you can only find in Japan. Many of them are accessible right in your local store, and you can easily bring them into your meals starting today. Imagine this. Think about your blood vessels as the highways inside your body. Every organ, every muscle, every cell relies on these highways to bring oxygen and nutrients. But over time, those highways can get clogged. A little plaque here, a little stiffness there, and suddenly the traffic of life slows down. You might feel it as fatigue, forgetfulness, or those little aches that seem to show up more often after 60. The Japanese figured out how to keep those highways clear, smooth, and flexible, largely thanks to what they put on their plate. So, let's start with the first food that plays a starring role in their longevity story: fish. But not just any fish, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. In Japan, grilled or lightly stewed fish often replaces heavy meats on the dinner table. These fish are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which act like natural cleaners for your arteries. They help reduce inflammation, lower bad cholesterol, and keep blood flowing easily. I once heard a Japanese centenarian describe eating fish as oiling the body from the inside. And it makes sense. When your arteries stay flexible and open, your heart doesn't have to work as hard, and your brain gets the fuel it needs to stay sharp. You don't have to eat fish every day to get the benefits. Just 2 to 3 servings a week can make a real difference. Maybe it's a piece of baked salmon on Sunday, sardines on toast for lunch, or a simple mackerel stew midweek. If you've gotten into the habit of eating more red meat, this little shift can be transformative for your energy and your long-term health. Now, let's move to something that might surprise you: soy-based foods. In Japan, tofu, miso, and natto are staples. You'll often see older Japanese enjoying a warm bowl of miso soup in the morning, or a slice of tofu alongside their vegetables. Soy contains compounds called isoflavones, which help keep blood vessels flexible and may reduce the buildup of plaque. Natto, in particular, is fascinating. It's a fermented soybean dish that may sound unusual if you haven't tried it, but it contains an enzyme called nattokinase that has been shown to help dissolve blood clots and support healthy circulation. Of course, you don't have to jump straight into natto if that feels too adventurous. Even small changes, like replacing some animal protein with tofu or adding a spoonful of miso paste to a soup, can introduce these powerful nutrients to your diet. The Japanese don't eat massive portions, they simply include these foods consistently, week after week, year after year. And that's what keeps their bodies strong deep into old age. Think about how easy it could be to start. Maybe one day you swap a heavy meat dish for tofu stir-fry with vegetables. Or you try miso soup instead of cream-based soup. These small swaps might not feel dramatic, but they work quietly in the background, nourishing your blood vessels and protecting your heart. The beauty of the Japanese way of eating is that it's not about strict diets, counting calories, or chasing after the latest health trend. It's about balance, variety, and simplicity. Fish a few times a week, soy-based dishes sprinkled throughout their meals, these choices, repeated consistently, build up to something powerful. And here's the wonderful truth: it's never too late to start. Even if you didn't grow up eating these foods, your body can still benefit at 60, 70, or even 80. Every meal is a chance to give your blood vessels a little love, to help your heart pump more easily, and to bring more energy back into your days. When I think about the wisdom of the Japanese diet, it reminds me that health doesn't have to be complicated. It's the steady, everyday choices that matter most. A bowl of soup, a piece of grilled fish, a spoonful of tofu, simple, humble foods that quietly keep you strong. And as we continue exploring, there are more of these foods to uncover, each one carrying its own secret to longevity, each one with a story that shows how the right meals can keep our inner highways smooth and flowing. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Have you ever noticed how the Japanese rarely seem to struggle with the same level of heart disease that we often hear about in the West? A big reason is what they put on their plates week after week. We've already talked about how small portions of fatty fish and seaweed make a real difference for their health, but the story doesn't end there. There are a few more foods they eat that keep their blood vessels clear, their circulation strong, and their energy steady, even into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. One of these foods might surprise you, because it's so simple: soy. Yes, the humble soybean shows up in so many different Japanese dishes, from tofu to miso soup to edamame. Soy is rich in plant-based protein, which is easier on the body than heavy red meats, and it also contains special compounds called isoflavones. These act almost like natural protectors for your blood vessels, helping reduce inflammation and keeping cholesterol in check. Think of them as little guardians, sweeping through your arteries, making sure no blockages build up. When you eat tofu in a stir-fry or sip on a warm bowl of miso soup, you're not just filling your stomach, you're giving your heart and circulation a gentle boost that adds up over the years. And what's even better is that soy is easy to digest, which means your body can use it without leaving you feeling weighed down. Now, let's move to another favorite on the Japanese table: green tea. I imagine many of you have tried a cup of green tea before, maybe with breakfast or in the afternoon. But in Japan, it's more than just a drink, it's a daily ritual. Green tea is loaded with powerful antioxidants called catechins, which help prevent the walls of your blood vessels from stiffening. You might not notice the effect after one cup, but over time, drinking green tea regularly keeps your arteries flexible and your blood flowing smoothly. This is why many older Japanese adults enjoy their tea throughout the day, not just as a pick-me-up, but as a quiet way to support their health. It's soothing, it calms the mind, and it keeps their heart in rhythm. Imagine sitting by a window in the morning sunlight, sipping a warm cup of green tea while your body quietly thanks you with every heartbeat. As important as tea is, the Japanese diet also has another gem we often overlook in the West: fermented foods. Foods like natto, fermented soybeans, may not sound appealing at first, but they hold a secret weapon for keeping blood vessels clear. Natto contains a natural enzyme called nattokinase, which helps break down clots in the blood and improves circulation. It's almost like a natural cleaner for your arteries, preventing the buildup that can lead to serious problems like strokes or heart attacks. While natto's flavor and texture may take some getting used to, the health benefits are undeniable. And even if natto itself feels too unusual, there are other fermented foods like miso or pickled vegetables that can offer similar benefits. The Japanese have understood for centuries that fermented foods not only improve digestion but also protect the heart and blood vessels. The more we look at these simple yet powerful foods, the clearer it becomes that longevity isn't about complicated diets or expensive supplements. It's about steady habits and natural nourishment. Soy provides strength without heaviness. Green tea calms the body while protecting the arteries. Fermented foods quietly keep the blood flowing, like a gentle stream that never runs dry. These aren't miracle cures, they're everyday choices that, when repeated week after week, build the kind of strong foundation that allows people in Japan to live active, fulfilling lives well into their later years. And what's encouraging is that you don't need to live in Tokyo or Kyoto to bring these foods into your own kitchen. A small bowl of miso soup with dinner, a cup of green tea in the morning instead of coffee, or a serving of tofu in your stir-fryer once or twice a week can make a world of difference. You don't have to change everything at once. Even adding one or two of these foods regularly can start to shift your health in the right direction. Now, we've covered fish, seaweed, soy, green tea, and fermented foods, and you might be wondering, what ties them all together? It's that they aren't just nourishing the body, they're protecting the blood vessels, the highways that keep every part of us alive and well. When those highways are clear and strong, the heart works less, the brain stays sharp, and the energy you thought you'd lost begins to return in surprising ways. We've now walked through the 5 foods that play such an important role in Japanese longevity: fatty fish, seaweed, soy, green tea, and fermented foods. Each one may seem simple on its own, but together, they form a powerful shield for the body, especially for the heart and blood vessels. And what's truly beautiful about this way of eating is how natural and enjoyable it is. There's no sense of restriction or struggle. Instead, these foods are woven into daily life in ways that feel comforting, familiar, and even joyful. Think for a moment about how we often approach diet and health in the West. Many times, it's all about cutting things out. Don't eat this, don't touch that. That can leave us feeling deprived. But in Japan, the focus is on what you add in: small, steady portions of foods that nourish and protect. A little fish a few times a week. A bowl of miso soup to start the day. A cup of green tea shared with a friend. It's not about denying yourself, but about creating routines that quietly build health over time. One of the lessons we can take from this is that food is not just fuel, it's medicine, prevention, and even a kind of daily celebration. Every bite has the power to either clog or cleanse our blood vessels. The Japanese have simply chosen, generation after generation, to lean toward foods that cleanse. That's why when you visit Japan, you'll often meet men and women in their 80s and 90s who are still walking, cycling, gardening, and laughing with their neighbors. Their bodies are not weighed down by heavy arteries or sluggish circulation. Instead, their blood flows freely, carrying oxygen and life to every corner of their being. Now, I want you to imagine what could happen if you began to adopt even just one of these habits. Let's say you start your morning with green tea instead of coffee 3 times a week. Within a month or two, you might notice less afternoon fatigue and a calmer energy throughout the day. Or maybe you add tofu to your stir-fry once a week instead of beef. Suddenly, digestion feels lighter, and your body recovers faster after meals. Over time, these changes add up like drops of water filling a bucket, slowly, quietly, but powerfully. The truth is, you don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Longevity is not built in a day, it's built in decades, with choices repeated day after day. Start small. Pick one food from this list, maybe salmon, miso soup, or green tea, and make it a steady part of your week. Once it feels natural, add another. Before you know it, you'll be living in a way that supports your circulation, your heart, and your overall vitality, just like the Japanese have done for centuries. And perhaps the most inspiring takeaway is this: eating for longevity is not just about adding years to your life, but about adding life to your years. What good is living longer if you can't enjoy it? By keeping your blood vessels clean and your circulation strong, you give yourself the gift of energy to play with your grandchildren, clarity to read a good book, and strength to wake up each morning feeling ready to embrace the day. So, here's the invitation for you. This week, choose one of these 5 foods and bring it into your kitchen. Try it, taste it, and notice how it feels. Let it be the first step toward a longer, healthier, more vibrant life. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't reserved for the Japanese, it's available to all of us, if we're willing to take the lessons they've so beautifully lived out and apply them in our own way. Your journey to cleaner blood vessels and better health can start today, with just one bite, one sip, one small change. And who knows? Years from now, you may look back and realize that this was the moment you began walking the same path of vitality and longevity that has carried so many Japanese elders into joyful, healthy old age. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video, and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.